Hello everybody and welcome once again to Casual Gamer Oz as we continue our F1 2017 Career Mode Season 2 Round 4. We're at Russia, the Sochi Autodrome with Toro Rosso driver Ben Waterworth. My name is Ben Waterworth and we're about to get into our one lap qualifying, of course. Best qualifying here in Bahrain was, Russia, that's where we are, Ben. 7th place back in Season 1 2016. Our best qualifying in F1 2017 was 13th last season. Let's do this. And of course, we've never finished the Russian Grand Prix in either F1 2016 or F1 2017. So there's a little statistic for you that we would like to break. Last year we didn't even make it past this section up here from memory. I think we got taken out right at the beginning of the Grand Prix. That little banging of wheels with a Renault from memory. So we've obviously already this season had a Grand Prix where didn't last the first corner back in our home Grand Prix in Australia. So we obviously do not want a repeat of that. And after my balls out mistake in Bahrain, we'd like to improve that and get a strong finish. Fitted an upgrade to the power unit at the end of the last race. It was an instant upgrade, as of course we're focusing on the powertrain. We're going down the tree there, as I like to fill in the colours as we go along in order. And we need about 900 more points right now to get to the next element of that. Because I'm a sucker for order and we're only focusing on the powertrain at the moment. And of course we don't do practice sessions here on Casual Gamer Oz, so we basically get stuck with the points that we get from qualifying and racing. So if you're wondering why we're a little bit slow on the uptake compared to maybe some of these other channels, that's why. Looking to top our best qualifying here, a 7th. We're currently in 9th. They want us to finish in the top 15. That should be met. But I'd like a top 10 here, folks. That would be fantastic if you ask me. It's not going to happen with a slide that amount of slide, although I'm still hovering around here in 9th. So that's okay at the moment as we come into the final part of the circuit. What can we do here? Can we hold on to 9th? Not if I cut the corner like that. Although we're just on 9th, I think, Jeffrey.
Very happy with our position. Well done.
Well, okay, our highest qualifying here since Season 1 of F1 2016. So there you go. We get our second top 10 finish for the season. And Raikkonen and Ferrari and Vettel on front two rolls. We just cheated by looking. We don't usually look to the race day. Speaking of race day, let's get into that. Something we want to do right now. Alrighty. Again, never finished this race. This is a bogey track for me on this game. I don't dislike Russia. I just seem to not do too well here. I mean, looking at my other results in terms of other tracks, I think it might be only Monaco that I have that record with as well, because I ended up finishing Malaysia, didn't I? Yes, I did. So Monaco, my only other track that I've never finished a race in on Casual Gamer Oz. That and Azerbaijan. There you go. So my 3 bogey tracks, I guess. And of course, if you're wondering, well, this is only my second season. Well, of course, I did do 2 seasons F1 2016. If you want to check them out here on Casual Gamer Oz. Alrighty. So we're getting our asses whooped again in our rivalry. Please give us somebody else besides a Force India. I mean, we beat them on race day, but we just can't seem to just give us a rivalry of a Sauber. We'd beat them. A McLaren driver. Come on. Alrighty. Let's do this. Let's break the duck in Russia. Quackity quack quack. We're going to quack across that finish line. The quack attack is back, Jack. Maybe. Not sure. I'm probably just jinxed myself again. I said that in Australia, didn't I, about lack of retirements. Alright, so we know that the Ferrari's on the front row. We know that the Mercedes are on the second row. We know that the Red Bulls are on the third row. So we're going to predict 7th is Massa. We're going to go Massa, Perez, Grosjean, and Hulkenberg. Let's see if we can match. So Grosjean. What did I say? So we want Massa, Perez. Oh, other way around. Grosjean and Hulkenberg. Oh, because I'm 9th. Duh. Stupid Ben. Hulkenberg 11th, Ocon, Magnussen, Stroll, poor Lance Stroll. Sainz 15th, Palmer, Alonso, Van Dorn, no doubt Verline, Ericsson, of course. Come on, show it. Of course it is. So qualifying battle between myself and Sainz is 2-2 apiece. So there you go. And I'm going to be on the outside. This is where I kind of was last year, wasn't I, on this part of the grid. All right, let's do this. Let's finish Russia. In Soviet Russia, you do not finish race finish you. And clearly that's been the case in all my 3 previous attempts. As, whoa, we get a Force India getting very close to us there. Going to move, oh no, I'm not going to move to the inside because there's going to be a car there. And I'm going to very closely brake Going to be very cautious. Don't want to damage the front wing. I've lost some positions off the beginning of the line there, which is obviously to be expected if I'm driving slightly cautiously. I'm going to run myself wide to allow myself to do this. Hit the brakes there slightly again because I guess I don't want to damage the front wing. I want to try to go through. Whoa, Ocon, was that Ocon? I actually didn't see which Force India that was. All I saw was pink. I'm guessing it's Ocon because the Prez is usually up higher than that. And cautiously so far here. Can we survive a lap without front wing damage? Jeffrey's telling me that we started off good. Thank you, Jeffrey. Don't know how we're going to go for pace in terms of these. When was the last time we actually did a race with no front wing damage in a dry track and held on to the back of some cars? It's been a while. I don't think we've done it on F1 2017, have we? I'm just jinxing myself. I'm actually in the points here. I thought I was in 11th, but I'm in 10th. So that's still a point. As we get a little bit of ground there on Romain. There's a theme park here at the Sochi Olympic Park. Never really kind of realised that before. I realised there's a theme park at Suzuka. But there you go. And people call Sochi boring. You go on a roller coaster, for fuck's sake. That's not boring. I don't particularly like roller coasters, but if that's what you're into, then why would you be bored? We've just lasted a lap of Sochi, ladies and gentlemen. And we haven't damaged our front wing. There you go. Small miracle. Plenty of time to fuck it up from here onwards, though. Can we catch Grosjean in front of us? You got some Grosjeans, Romain. Whoa! Oh. Stop with your comedy act, Ben. Stop with your comedy act. How about you try your driving act? Hope Shedmeister, you're enjoying this. I really want to know who the hell you are. Please? I like to give you a shout out every video. Come on. Like, just tell me your name. I'm not going to stalk you. I mean, I know I stalked Catherine and met her for a beer in Melbourne. And that was because she reveals who she is. So, you know. Yeah. Hello, Catherine. I think Catherine's actually not watching. I think we finally found something Catherine's not interested in. Unless you really are Shedmeister, Catherine, and you're just playing with me, you troll. In the nicest possible way. Anyway, hi Shedmeister, should you be watching? Is it Meister or Master? Meister, it's E-I-S-T-E-R, isn't it? So I'm guessing that's Shedmeister. How's our fuel looking? Oh, we can put up to rich mode here. We're over a lap and fuel in reserve. Shedmeister. It's a nice name. It's memorable. Anyway, we're catching Romain. We're catching. Ben Waterworth is faster than you. That's what they're saying to Mr. Guetta's bestie. Seriously, check out the film clip for Dangerous. There you go, Shedmeister. Check out the film clip for Dangerous by David Guetta. It's a fantastic song. And, yeah, Romain Grosjean's in it. And so's, the actor guy. I can't remember his name. He was the evil dude in The Following with Kevin Bacon. And he was meant to be V in V for Vendetta. James Purefoy, I think that's his name. Anyway, he's in it too. So there you go. And I think I've told this story before, but one of the Grand Prix where I got Romain Grosjean's autograph, I joked with him and said, "Oh, how's David Guetta?" And he's like, "Oh, he's my friend." Funny story about Romain Grosjean. Here's one for you, folks, if you're an F1 fan. So at one of the other Grand Prix that we were at getting his autograph, my friend that I've mentioned a few times, Sam, who sort of does a qualifying lap with me and goes to Grand Prix with me, he had a permanent marker, like a text or a Sharpie, and handed it to Romain Grosjean to sign his autograph, because generally they come with a pen or somebody gives them a pen at some point. They just go down the line and, you know, usually keep one pen, and that's what they do. So Romain Grosjean shows up, nobody hands him a pen, so Sam hands him his pen. He walked off up and down the line, signed some autographs, and sort of came back, and they usually remember whereabouts they get it, and they hold the pen up, like, oh, whose pen is this? Just in case, you know, I don't know, it's like a special pen. And Romain Grosjean kind of held it up and was like, oh, whose pen is this? And Sam kind of put his hand up, and then Romain Grosjean was like, oh, okay, and he just walked off. Stole Sam's pen. So that's always a little joke we always have about Romain Grosjean, that he stole Sam's pen. So there you go. Romain Grosjean, nice guy for a Frenchman, and pen stealer. So there's a little story for you. I had a similar thing almost happen to me with Alonso, and I talked in the last Grand Prix about how I don't like Alonso. But eventually his agent or his manager, like, Alonso walked off with my pen. I'm like, you prick, you prick, you prick. And then his manager took it and kind of walked back and gave it back to me. So there's a little story for you. It's fun getting autographs, interacting with the drivers. Obviously, I've interviewed a few of these drivers, been lucky enough to do that. I've interviewed Romain Grosjean on a red carpet event at the Australian Grand Prix, I believe, in 2014, I want to say, when he was driving for Lotus. And again, very underrated driver, I feel. He deserves a bigger spot. And he's having a look here on Ricciardo. Tell you one thing, Ricciardo having a bit of a slow race for Red Bull here, and Verstappen only just ahead as well. So if I pay actually attention to what's going on here, these two drivers getting racy in front of me, and Grosjean's got him. Grosjean has gotten Dan Ricciardo, and I've got an opportunity to take my countryman and senior team member, which I think will help me with my reputation with Red Bull as I strive to maybe take Dan's seat next year. Here's all Max's, and I'm holding on the back here. I'm actually enjoying this race. Ocon's gradually catching me, but we're only a lap away from finishing the Russian Grand Prix for the very first time. Can we do this? We're holding on to a point here. I'm going to run myself wide. That's not what I want. Ocon out of nowhere, really. I thought I had a long lead over Ocon. And this is like, this is actually really enjoyable racing. The fact is that I'm not holding back or anything to try and make this look close. I'm legitimately trying to bridge this gap. And I'm right on the tail now of Ricciardo as we get into our last lap. He's got a lot of extra speed as he exits the corner onto the main straight. I'll get DRS here. And what do you say? Do we dive one up the inside of Dan Ricciardo? It's a risk, it's a risk, it's a risk. And we're going to take the risk. Just going to get it. No, Ricciardo's got it. I'm going to sweep back here on the inside. Oh, I'm scared here that he's going to run me off the track. I'm going to have to go this way if I want the inside, run myself on the outside, because this is going to sweep at me just like that. Oh, I'm going to have to go up circuit there. Oh, tell you one thing. If I had flashbacks on, which I do, but if I use flashbacks, I think I would have risked that. But that's what I like about not using flashbacks. You've got to be a little bit more cautious. Good racing. Well done, Dan Ricciardo. The AI in this game, fantastic. Makes you really feel like it's really worth it for whenever you get positions that way. And look, I don't think I'm going to take any serious risks here. We will be very happy with 10th place. I'm going to say that. I've got the fuel light coming on. How are we at? Ooh, that's very tight. I'm going to just whack it down. Don't want to lose a point. I'm not going to catch Dan now. So we're going to just put that down to standard because we're going to hold on to this point. Oh, God. Remember, we've got Ocon behind me, Ben. You're going to have to hold on here for 1 point. You've had a very good race here. And for your first time finishing Russia, if you can hold on. Raikkonen wins. That's what we want too. From a Ferrari standpoint, Ferrari fan. They only want me to finish in the top 13. Looks like I'm going to hold on here for a point unless I completely fuck up coming into this last section. Had a good little battle there with Ricciardo. And I'm going to finish my first ever Grand Prix in Russia. Quack, quack, quack. And get myself a point. Again, I've technically fallen back a position because I started in 9th. But satisfying. I had a good little battle there with Dan Ricciardo. And ladies and gentlemen, you've witnessed history. We've finished Russia and Casual Gamer Oz. And it's a Ferrari 1-2 and a Finn 1-3. Let's have a bit of a look here at the replay just ever so slightly. See how that went off the line. Obviously, didn't get taken out straight away, which is good. There was a strong... that was Grosjean who got me on the line. So good for you, Romain. And I think I went to go to the right here. And then, yeah, I did. And then I realised there was a car next to me. And it looks like it was Massa there. As this is where I'm going to get ahead of Ocon, just up here, which I decided to go around the outside, given that I know how that corner works. It's going to turn into an inside line there, so it pays to go slightly wide, dive up the middle there, and well, I'm going to get him at some point there, I think. That's obviously not going to be the case. Oh, gee, that's where he tagged me out there, wasn't it? I get also ahead of the Renault there too, I believe. Anyway. Oh, no, we don't want to pause it. We want to exit it out. So Raikkonen wins from Vettel where they started. Bottas gets a leap over Hamilton. Perez got up to 5th. Well, just as soon as I get back in the top 10, my rival wipes the floor there. Verstappen 6, Massa, Grosjean, Ricciardo obviously dropped down as we saw, and myself 10th. Ocon didn't get 11th. Standings wise, well, Hamilton leads by only 1 point. Look at that, 1 point from both Vettel and Raikkonen, and Bottas down in 4th. He moves up to 4th actually. Verstappen, Ricciardo 5th, 6th, Massa in 7th, Perez 8th, myself still in 9th. They're falling back now, and Grosjean equal with me there in 9th place. Constructors, Ferrari leading by 36 points. Of course, they're the reigning champions in this game. Mercedes, Red Bull, Williams, Force India, Haas. We move now down to 7th. Haas had a very good start to the season. Renault in 8th and McLaren Sauber. That is our fourth race here on F1 2017 Season 2 Career Mode. We'll be back for Spain, again, unless we have an invitational race, which I feel we might have one. But remember to like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate you watching, and we'll speak to you next time on Casual Gamer Oz. Good night.